All right, we're ready to start here. So let's see if we've got a quorum. Bob?
Here. Oh,
Both of you, Rob?
Here.
Chris? Everybody's here. So we are able to conduct business. So let's look at the minutes. Give those to look through.
Make a motion.
Motion made. Do I hear a second to approve the minutes of March 18? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay. Monthly appropriations, looks like the next thing on the...
How's the county treasurer?
I'm the bad one, I'm the assessor.
I mean the assessor is what I meant to say. Yeah, I know, you are the bad. She
They all been telling me that.
waking up or hollering at you?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Lots of them?
Yeah.
Could be worse. You could be an IRS agent today.
Oh, yeah. That is today, I'm gonna remember that. Gotta call and check on ours.
How is your new role? You just touched on it, didn't you?
Yeah.
How thick is your skin?
So it's getting thicker, yeah. It's, I feel the same way, so I understand.
And your mom was there for years, right?
But yeah, she was in Shelley's.
Oh,
Yeah. She was the county clerk.
Yeah, you kinda got a little pre-knowledge. When they're yelling, man, I've seen them get so red. Oh, man. Mhm.
Hello.
What's this DI business now?
What's that?
Highway DI, district,
Oh, District 1.
oh, D1.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because we
Yeah.
split the accounts. So District 1, District 2, and District 3.
Oh, I see,
Yeah, we just split it instead of having it all in one big
okay.
group now. We did that to try to make things a little easier, but so far, it didn't work out.
About ready to go back the old way, yeah, I see 2
When
and 3
July, when we
now.
start all over for the new year, it'll be a lot, it will definitely be easier, but starting in the middle of the year, it's been a little bit challenging, but we're getting it. A learning curve for all of us.
Still making progress on your books. Right there.
Yes. In fact, I thought I had ordered enough books to get us by for the 4 years. And I'm going to have to order books again already. We're filling them up fast.
Let's see the price of
The
it.
deed books up there?
Yeah.
How much does a book cost?
Well, if you order about 80 at a time, you can get a good break to where they're about $80 a piece. If you order less than that, they're usually around 95 to 100. So. thank goodness I get that preservation fee to help pay for those.
And it's 2,400, is that up a little? What it was,
I think, yeah, that is up a little bit.
what it looked like to me.
On average, how long does it take you for the instruments to fill a deed book?
Well,
Or do you even, is that even a valid question? You just do it?
yeah, sometimes it takes a month and sometimes it's every 2 weeks. And sometimes we fill one in one day. So it just, and there's 1,100 pages in each book.
Yeah, I've seen you fill one a day.
How many lines in a page?
I don't know. I
A
mean,
bunch.
each document's different, you know,
Oh.
so that'd be hard to say how many lines, but.
When I first started going in that office, there was room for all kinds of books in there. And they had those old ones over there on the far wall. Golly, the last time I was in there, I just was shocked.
Yeah, we're gonna have to build on eventually.
Yeah,
I'm gonna run out of room.
how's the 911 people coming, are they getting healed up a little, or are we still behind?
On 911?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're still behind, but it's just gonna be that way until we can get some type of funding to help out. County General just always have to help them out unless we find another way. And so far, the legislation hasn't made it to where it's not real easy to get grants for them, so we really need to figure out a way, but they haven't yet. It's hurting all the counties.
so we're breaking the highway cash up in the
In three.
districts now?
Uh-huh. Yes.
So this is,
If it starts with a 1, that's
Yeah.
District 1, 2, 3, yeah.
well, so we're about 700,000 on all of them, right?
Yeah, around 200,000.
Just about
700.
like it was last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and which last time was 688, I think.
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
well,
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
689. Well, can you kind of tell now that those new guys are kind of starting to catch on when they come to?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it takes,
You need these, Lynn?
I'm gonna ask her for
Okay.
minutes.
I bet McMurphy's been challenged with, I don't know, questions and mentoring
I
and
bet.
if they
I
would,
don't know who needs to sign.
that would be
Know about these.
Rob.
So, gross production is not hurting that all that much at this point.
No, not
We're
yet.
still in that 700,000 range every time.
Right.
$28,000 won't get 911 through a month.
No, not on payroll. That didn't touch, that, payroll runs around between 35 to 37,000 every month.
Really?
Mhm.
Well, probably so.
And 911, is that just the folks that's working in the call or center or?
The dispatchers. Yep. But that takes care of like their insurance and
Yeah,
their taxes and everything. so.
sure.
Is it 3 shifts a day,
Uh,
8 hours, or?
I think they're working 12 hours, 10, yeah, 12 hours maybe, or 10, either 10 or 12. I think they're 12, actually.
Three of them.
There's two per
Two.
shift, sometimes 3, depending on what's, you know. Takes a lot.
Yeah.
Well, you're not gonna buy many books of this.
No, no. That coming every month, I'm saving it up, so I'll be able to. I've got enough saved, I can get some of it.
Up to 2,400? Yeah.
I'm about there, fellas.
As long as Chesapeake, Sand Ridge, and Chaparral quit doing their Chinese, maybe restructuring their mortgages. You have to print a book every time they do that, probably, don't you?
Yeah, if they send one of those big assignments, yeah, they'll take up a whole book for themselves a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, any discussion on the appropriations? Your motion to approve them in?
I make motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, we need to adjourn the excise, reconvene the equalization board. Do you hear a motion to do that?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, on the excise board, second?
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Okay. So, equalization board is,
Adjourn and reconvene, right?
do what?
We're gonna adjourn and reconvene as the equalization board, right? 'Cause he just said
Yeah, we're gonna
adjourn.
reconvene the equalization board.
Okay.
Adjourn the excise, reconvene the equalization. All right. Need a quorum call again. Bob? Here. Rob?
Yeah,
Chris? Everybody's here. All right. We've got the approve or disapprove the manufacturing exemption applications for Atlas, Mid-Continent, West Oak. You got it.
Got it, and we're gonna go ahead and approve it. They don't have their personnel salaries, and they had talked to OTC, and the tax commission said that they could send that at a later time. And when I talked to the tax commission yesterday, they said, go ahead and approve it, and if they need to do anything different, then they'll be the ones to disapprove it, so it wouldn't be on us. If
So-
they don't get it in time, if they don't get the rest, that part of it in to them.
The exemption is supposed to be picked up by the state at some point in time. How far behind are we?
Well, this is 3 years. This is the third year that they're gonna do it. So they'll have 2 more years after this year that they can get the 5-year exempt. As far as,
Does the state reimburse us the year that they
Supposed-
exempt them, or are they behind as money becomes available?
I can't
Where
tell
are
you
they?
exactly. We got a check here a while back, but I can't tell you exactly.
well, this is the third year for Atlas or Mid-Continent?
Right, yeah, Atlas, it's their, Atlas Mid-Continent, yeah.
Oh, that's all
It's for
one.
that
That's
new,
all one name.
that new
That's all one
plant, yeah.
entity. Oh, I see.
It's that new one they built down in District 3, the new plant they added on a couple of years ago.
I think, I know, off down here.
Mhm.
So
So
this
So
is the
this is their
third?
third year. This would
Third
be their
year.
third year.
I guess my question is, how current is the state on reimbursing us for the exemption that they're asking?
Can't
You
tell
don't
you
know?
on that, I don't know.
Sounds like politics to me.
They do it at their own pace, the state does, that's for sure.
I think from what I've heard is when money becomes available, they do it.
Probably so.
And so it makes,
Being the new guy, I want to ask, what is the exemption for?
it's a 5-year exemption to, they do it for the companies to get them to come in and build, and so they get, and then
Yeah.
they don't have to pay their taxes for those years. The state picks it up and is supposed to pay it and reimburse us for it, so.
See, the state is supposed to offset the exemption that they normally would have paid to us, but they're behind, I think, big
And I
time.
can't tell you for
2 or
sure.
3 years, that's the last I knew.
What kind of tax exemption is this?
Like property tax,
Property
ad
tax.
valorem tax.
Ad valorem.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound like they're doing their part of the agreement.
Well, the state's not, because,
No, the
Well, I
state's
mean,
always
If these
behind.
guys haven't turned it in, is that what you said? These guys haven't turned anything in?
No,
On-
the state.
yeah, on their new
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, they have on their other stuff. This is just that new plant they built.
It's been there 3 years,
This is the third year, going on the third year, this year.
and they haven't turned anything in 3 years?
They haven't, the state's supposed to,
you see, the state is supposed to reimburse us
Right.
for the 5-year
for
exemption.
what we're losing by not taxing it. It's an incentive for them to build.
Right.
Mhm.
But the problem is, the state's ability to reimburse us is based on when money is available. That's the problem.
Money's not available.
I guess I should have checked with David.
And I
before I
think
came down
we're
here and asked
behind
him.
2, maybe 3 years.
Wow.
You never know.
But
That
it's
would
on
be
the
a-
books, they just don't, you know.
Sizable amount, I
Yeah.
presume.
I presume every county's in the same boat.
Yeah, everybody's in the same
Mm.
boat.
I think we only have one, so.
So this is the only one now that we've
This
got,
is the
plain
only one
plastics and,
that has, no, on the Atlas,
okay,
that's the only 5-year exemption we have.
okay.
Which is good.
Mhm.
It'd be bad if we had 5 or 6. And I'm sure some counties do, you know.
Okay. Well, we don't have any choice but to approve it, just hope the state pays it.
You know, that's in their hands, yeah.
Or if they fall through and don't get all their stuff done right, then maybe they'll deny it and we won't
They'll,
get it.
yeah, then they'll have
Then
to
if
pay.
they deny it, then you gotta, you got a
Then it's
current
back.
assessment rate, don't you,
Mhm.
on them? So then you go to them if they deny that.
Then they would have to pay it.
Yeah, I looked at it this morning, I was working on it, and assessed amounts around 9 million.
On Atlas, the Atlas pipeline thing.
Just on this assessment,
That
just for
facility.
that new plant.
Okay.
Yeah, the addition of the new plant. The original plant is gone past, you know, they're already through it.
And that's just a number for the moment. If they protest that number,
Yeah,
you know, it could change. But right now, with the figures I've got and what, you know, I figured and put in the computer and everything, it's around that. But if they protest that number, it could change. So,
they're gonna try you this year, probably, huh?
probably so. We've been hearing that, so.
Okay, do I hear a motion then to approve their exemption, hoping the state does pay?
I like how you threaded those words.
Well, I know they're behind, you know, the state is, but eventually, I think if you got a check from them the other day,
I can't tell you for sure. I just have to check with David in the treasurer's
Yeah.
office to know.
okay,
I make a motion, we approve.
Their
the
exemption. Rob? same?
I don't like it at all.
It's no different than any other year.
Well.
We've done the same thing.
Just
Would we
goes
be
on,
approving
goes
this
on.
if you?
Tomorrow, next year, before.
If she wouldn't have told us, state said go ahead and approve it?
Well, what it amounts to is there's certain criteria that if they have so many employees, so much capital investment, and so on and so forth, and they have to add stuff all the time, don't they? I mean, they have to jump through hoops
Right,
to get
yes,
this exemption.
yes.
And so they send their stuff to the state and say, yeah, we complied with all of the requirements that you got. So then the state sends us back the idea that, okay, we'll pay you, but we've exempted them. And the question is, when do we get paid? And, you know, we're dealing with the state, not with Atlas.
Sure.
So, you know, I guess it's just as good as the credibility of the state government. Lynn, you don't need to be right there.
Well, I'm about say, better than the credibility of the federal government.
We got a motion, second.
Yeah, I will.
All right,
Boy,
a motion,
my
second.
gut's talking to me, I'll tell you.
All right, any discussion on it? I don't think there's anything we can do, but.
Well, and that's the reason I talked to him yesterday
Yeah.
down there when I went to a meeting, and I talked to the tax commission about it, because they had already talked with them about their payroll part. They just didn't have the numbers yet when they sent in, because we had to have all of this by March 15th. They didn't have all their numbers yet for payroll. And they, tax commission told them that was okay. Just make sure you get everything else in, and then they could turn it in later, the numbers for the payroll part. And so when I asked them about that yesterday, my question was, how long do they get
Yeah.
to turn, do we approve it or not approve it? What do we do? And they said, go ahead, because if they don't get it in, they'll be the ones to disapprove it, and it won't be on us, it's on them. And
So the state will disapprove it if they don't follow
get
their
everything done that they
guidelines.
need to do. Mhm.
And if they disapprove it, then you've got an assessment rate
Right.
that would go against them. Okay.
Because what I have is what it's going to be, it's either going to get turned into the government, to the state, or it's going to get turned to Atlas. So either way, one of them's getting it,
Yeah.
so.
Well, I'm hearing from, and it's getting pretty popular on the school groups right now. Everybody's talking about gross production and this and this. And they really don't have a handle on that. But one of the things they're talking about is delays on, and I think the last time I heard they were 300,000 behind in the Winoka district because of the delay on paying this by the state. So somewhere down the line, we need to know how current the state is, how far behind, how many years behind
Right.
they are on paying these reimbursements. Because I think that makes a little bit of difference. So see if you can find out.
I
somebody,
can check
or
with David up
somebody.
there and find out.
Yeah.
Is this a total exemption, property tax exemption for 5 years?
It's just on their new plant. Now, they've got the other plant out there and all their other stuff they have going on. But this is just on that new plant, the expansion that they added on.
Is there, so, other than that 3 year, we're in year 3 of a 5-year exemption on the new plant, is that new plant still being evaluated or appraised by our appraiser, the Woods County appraiser?
Well, yeah, we hire tasks to do.
And the value thereof is also provided to Atlas? Okay.
Yeah. I just like it better if they weren't dragging their feet, getting their numbers in. I just,
I know.
that ain't right.
Getting the payroll is not, I don't care how big it is, not that difficult.
That-
Microsoft, it's a couple keystrokes. How long would it take you to put your payroll?
That was my
together?
thinking, that's why I asked about it.
Brooks and I can print out a year's or whatever quarter in about 30 seconds.
In 2000, for 2003 or
Whatever year,
Right.
I've got 11 years on mine, so.
Yeah, we can print ours out for the whole county pretty quick too.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I
it's
don't
just
like it either.
It's just like public assessment. You don't know whether it's correct or not.
Exactly.
I mean, so,
Last year was year 2. Did this come up last year, Atlas? And,
I
no,
don't
you
know,
wouldn't know.
Monica took care of it, I don't know.
Well, I think we've talked about this for like
yeah.
3 or
Yeah.
maybe more. Time goes, but it's just kind of
I'm wondering if they're
April
not-
business seems like.
I'm wondering if they're not wanting those numbers out there or available because of workman's comp taxes and stuff like that.
Could
that
be.
They're trying to avoid or something.
I don't know.
that, where they're
That puts
eventually
a
have to,
shady tint on it, doesn't it?
where they're eventually gonna have to turn it into the state or be
Somebody's
denied.
gonna
Yeah,
say,
they
yeah.
gotta have those numbers consistent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well,
That's
every
where we
time,
got them, you know, it's the only place we got them hooked.
every time you step up from county, from district to county to state to federal, things go south on you, every time. I mean, big businesses just do not operate like small businesses,
Right.
period.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of the way it works. Okay, we got a motion second. Anything else? I'm not happy with it either, but let's see if we can find out how far behind the state is.
I know.
We need to vote though.
Yeah, I need a,
Aye.
Aye.
aye. So we all, motion carried. We got the following Freeport exemption. Explain that to us.
It has to do with they're making something in Oklahoma and shipping it out to other states. So
Okay.
they can get an exemption for that.
So
And, go ahead.
this is different than
It's
the,
different. Mhm.
in seven, item 7 here, because that is the, item 7 was the cost of their plant in their operations, and this is the product that they have.
Right.
So that's the difference between them. You understand that, Bob?
Yeah, I see the first 3 certainly a product, the 4th is Red Man, what is that? Meat Junkie?
It's the guys out here on 64, you know, that big facility where they have a lot of inventory.
Across from Light and Night out there on the
So-
corner.
Okay.
That's Redmond.
Okay. All right, then we get to the petroleum.
Okay.
How is that, why don't we have a bunch of petroleum people
Well-
on here? Why is this different?
We're not going to approve that one. They didn't put any numbers in their application. They sent it in blank with a 0.
Really?
So, we're not approving that because there's no numbers, there's nothing. And the only thing they had was furniture, fixtures, and some computers. So we can't figure out why they sent in a 5-year exempt application. So,
Wow. It's an interesting approach.
Now,
Kind of interesting, isn't it?
VAP is, they've been on here for quite a while, and supposedly they've been okay. Plain Plastics is basically about,
they're.
Same
they've been on
category.
there for- Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. Mhm.
Cargill's been on there for some
Right,
time.
right. And McJunkin is only, they were on there last year,
Yeah.
but their numbers this year, I asked about it yesterday, and it's not right. And they have a negative number, and most all of their stuff, unless somebody new was doing it and filled out the application wrong, most of their stuff went to here in Oklahoma. It didn't go out to other states. So I really feel like that one probably needs denied too.
Okay, so let's take each one of them at a separate here instead of the whole group.
Yes.
Is VAP
It was
current?
good, yes.
They're good.
Yes.
How long does VAP get this Freeport? Do you know that?
I think it's as long as.
As long as they're sending
Yeah,
out of
it's
state,
just,
it's something that'll be ongoing. Until they're not sending out of state, isn't that right?
What the amount, is this a total exemption on
no.
just a partial?
It's just on what they're sending, isn't it?
Right,
On
it's
their
just a
product.
partial.
What is the name Freeport? Is that a name I should be but not familiar with?
I don't know.
Well,
it's ported
It all
out
started with that
at the
gas
state,
plant down
so-
there southwest Alabama.
Yeah. that
They
whole
were
thing.
shipping gas in there, and then from there, they were storing it and then shipping it out, and they gave them a Freeport exemption. We had a big squabble in here, I think, over that.
Mhm.
That's the first time I ever heard the term.
I think what it amounts to is if a company has a product that they're just parking here for a period of time and it's not sold in-state, then the government allows them to move that out to wherever their point of sale is going to be. Whereas a local business has inventory that we are assessed every January 1. And if you've got inventory that you intend on selling and is for the sale in Oklahoma, then that's assessed as a inventory to be taxed. So the difference with the Freeport is it's just a
Freeport.
stop. It's just a stop between where point A and point C. You know, your point B is just a stopping point. So I think that's the difference in VAT is saying, we've got inventory that goes out of state. Plain plastic's probably the same, Cargill's probably the same.
They bring supplies, things in, make a product, and then ship it out.
Yeah.
So,
But I imagine you're right about McJunk, because most of theirs is within, some of it may go into Kansas, but most of it's right.
Right.
What is McJunk manufacturing? McJunk?
They have supplies, like oil field supplies, that kind of stuff.
Pipe and
Big pipe.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they've got trucks that run around to these wells around here and deliver whatever they need. They do a lot of business right here.
Right.
And then they've got a place at Cherokee, I think.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so.
That's probably Chaparral.
Well, I don't know. I think these guys came
They've got
from
one at
there.
Woodward. They're pretty dominant in the oil field business.
Yeah.
I mean, they got stores everywhere. But the big one in Cherokee, I think, is Chaparral.
Might be
It's not the Chaparral Oil Company, it's a different
where
group.
John Deere used to be a long time
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah. So do we need to approve each one of them separately?
I think so.
All right, I got a motion. Do I have a motion on VAT?
Motion, we approve that.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor of VAT? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Plain plastics.
Make a motion, we approve plain.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor on plain plastics?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Cargill Inc.
I make a motion, we approve Cargill.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, now you're telling me McJunk hadn't done their paperwork.
Their numbers aren't right. It's
Okay.
wrong.
Do I hear a motion to approve or disapprove?
I make a motion, we
Okay.
McJunkin.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Mid States, tell us about them.
I don't.
Just nothing but zeros.
They
Blanks.
sent nothing. It was blank. So,
Okay,
They think there's some-
they're the operating company now, aren't they? Mid States, we're talking about the one that operates the wells, that,
well, I don't know
The ones
exactly
they get
which
oil check
one
from.
this is.
yeah, I think that's Mid States.
I
think
have
they're the
several
operator.
mid-states.
There's Mid-States
That's-
Petroleum
yes.
down around Tacoma there.
Yeah, that's.
Is that
who
what
I-
you just
Yeah.
said?
Yeah, and they have, they're set up down there, but if they turn
But
it
they
on
don't have,
zeros-
yeah, I don't know what they were trying to, what they wanted an exemption, a Freeport exemption on. All they had is office equipment and a couple,
Yeah,
and some
okay.
I don't
laptop
think I
or
understood.
iPod, iPad things. I don't know what, or whether they just sent it in as a formality, or I don't know.
I'll make a motion to disapprove them and
Okay.
they'll be in.
They'll protest if they don't like it. Need a second? Motion made and second to disapprove Mid State. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay. Have fun.
Ring.
Oh, yeah, it's starting.
These three to start with have been here.
Yes,
They're
and
pretty good.
they have all of their paperwork, all their numbers were good. I mean, everything looked good. And compared to last year, it all looked about the same, so.
Okay. Okay.
Just a little side note question, does VAT, I know it's value-added products, do they hire trodden down and out people, or do you know anything about
I
it?
don't
I
know.
don't think anybody they can get was scrambling for employees.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
I've got 2 or 3 at the paper who used to work out there. Pretty grueling work, I guess.
Assembly line type
Yeah.
work, I think.
You stand there with 8 hours packing things in boxes, it's not so exciting.
You know, when we were talking about that Freeport down there southwest Avalon, that holding that gas,
Mhm.
isn't that what went to the Supreme Court?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
You make me next.
No, don't say that.
Oh, man.
Well, that one was a little complicated, but the ruling ended up being right. So, all right, we approve or disapprove the extending the equalization board through June or as long as we need. And how many protests you got?
It's just starting with oil and gas, so. I'm
Haven't
not
got
sure.
hardly any yet.
A few. And I have a couple that were people here in the area. I haven't gotten anything back from them yet. You know, their form that they fill out to bring it on to you guys. One guy has told me he is going to, but I haven't seen his paperwork come back through yet, so I don't know if he's going to or if he's not. So
How long do
What's
they have
it-
to turn it in?
Yeah.
they have 10 days from the time I send them after we talk.
Mhm.
I send them a form and they have 10 days to, so.
So how many days they got left to get?
I think one of them, tomorrow is maybe the last day, and the other one, I think Monday is the last day. So,
Okay.
You sent out to Missouri Gas and all those people that normally were hitting our door?
yes, I've sent out there, all of that stuff, and I haven't heard back from a lot of them yet. Some of the smaller companies have sent back something, but I'm pretty confident that Jerry's gonna get things settled, you know, that we'll get it settled with some of those so far. But the other big companies, I haven't heard yet, so. Atlas I have laying on my desk until I got everything done. So I haven't sent it yet. It's going in the mail today, so,
Okay. You pretty comfortable with the Atlas deal?
yeah.
Okay. All right, we probably need to go all the way to June, maybe go past that, but I hear a motion to extend the equalization board section through June or till the last.
Can I ask about is that legal?
To extend it?
Mhm.
Oh,
How
yeah.
can she do her minutes?
Our minutes?
Yeah, from this.
I just worded just like it says here, that we extend it through June or as long as needed. And then when we get to the finish, when we are finally done, then we will have an agenda item saying that we are ending the equalization session for the year. And that'll be in the minutes that,
What this amounts to is they have a process that they can appeal to the board. And
we
we
don't
don't
know
know how many of those appeals are going to be, so we have to extend until the end of the cycle, which is
Protest.
June.
So how does the media or public that would be interested know when to show up here?
Oh, we send out, if they make a formal,
Protest.
protest, then I send them out a letter letting them know when their protest is, what time it will be, when, and I let these guys know, and then we all show up for the protest.
We schedule a meeting.
So they're scheduled for it.
And typically, you won't be the only one with the recorder when that happens, because their attorneys are here.
Yeah.
And we have recorders, and we depend on you to be here and keep everybody straight.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But, so the next time you guys meet on this, somebody protest or whatever.
Yeah.
How do we learn about it?
It'll be a special meeting, and I'll have an agenda, and I'll be sending the agenda to you to let you know.
Even
And-
though the meeting is the other meeting is continued, you're just gonna have a special meeting within it?
This is just the session, the equalization board
Oh.
session. It runs from April
I
1st
see.
till.
The term session is now.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're in a session now, and they're only the equalization board during this period, and then they go back to being the excise board.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Fred.
that's okay. I know, it's confusing.
Okay.
And part of the reason we needed to probably extend longer is because they passed a new law where they get
longer time.
They get 30 days instead of 20, and then they get 3 chances to protest. You know, they get 3 chances on the day. So if you set a date and that doesn't work out,
Then
they can try again for another date. And if that doesn't work out, then they can try again for another
Another
date.
date.
So it just gives them a longer time period
Right.
to drag it out.
Thanks for educating me.
Hey, that's okay. I mean, it is. It is an education.
These can get to be knockdown dragouts.
Really.
Yeah.
Just
don't
ask
want one.
Monica.
We're not going to do that. No.
That's the Supreme Court thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why they may be testing the new assessor here.
Well,
She still has brunette hair right now.
Well, I don't know. It's pretty silver.
I'll say one thing for old Monica, they didn't bluff her out. Not one bit.
And that's why we have task. I mean, they're the ones that go out and look at everything, and
And that's
so
why we
that's
have,
what we're paying them for, so.
That's why we have
Yeah.
Tidell. Well, how do you say his name? Mart.
Oh, yes,
Tisdale.
Mark Tisdale, yeah.
He's a very good lawyer. We keep him on.
Yeah. This gets pretty serious, you know.
Well, I remember that Supreme Court thing. That was incredible amount of dollars that had meant a lot to a lot of people,
Right.
Yeah,
not just Woods County. You know,
yeah.
That precedent. Wow.
Yeah, there've been some doors slamming.
Yeah. And they have to go through us to get to that point. And you can be assured that every dot better be dotted and T crossed, because, I mean, it's.
Yeah, and I'll be recording it plus videotaping it so I can get my minutes exactly the way it was said, because if it ever does go to court, I've got to have my minutes.
One year the recorder
Exactly.
quit, and Pam, she flew over to Radio Shack and flew back. I just came in there huffing and puffing, getting it out of the box.
Well, we saved the rec parts neck a little bit the other couple of months ago. They lost their minutes from November. They could not find their minutes.
Who was this?
Alva Recreational Authority. Well, we recorded it and had it stored. I don't think we ever put it online, but we still had it. And so
Thank
I was able to make
goodness.
the DVD of it. They recreated their minutes from that.
Oh, thank
So,
goodness,
pretty
yeah.
handy.
That's one thing I do like, yeah, because I may have to
Yeah.
rely on you on
Well,
something
we've
like
talked a
that.
couple of times.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Well, I didn't understand something, or you did.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Well, the big boys play games with us,
Yeah, they do.
and so it's important that
Well, last year they
everything's-
sent us a box. Remember that big old box they sent us, and it had nothing to really do with their
Anything that
that
was
pertained.
needed.
Yeah, that was needed. It was just
Stuff.
garbage. It was garbage.
And it was what, the end of, wasn't it like on a Friday or a Thursday? It was the end of the week, at the end of the day, when we got it, and we had to have all these copies made and sent, and
So
Yeah,
it's
and some
a
of it-
screen kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. And some of it you couldn't even read. It was unreadable. It
Really?
was- oh yeah, it was.
An old company,
It was not good. And I'll have to keep that forever, that big box of crap. It doesn't even pertain to anything. You know, I have to store that
Good
forever
gosh.
because it was a protest.
You don't really know what you're into. Okay. Did we get a motion to extend the session
I make a motion, we extend.
Thank you.
till we get through with our business? Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Now, recess or reconvene or adjourn. Any other business we need to take care of today? Here, motion then to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I second it.
Made and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
oh, here we go.
Motion carried.
Yes, we'll get
Glenn,
that signed.
thanks for coming.
Yeah.